Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and this is part 2 of my PlayStation game collection video. I've already done part 1, which showcased the first few titles all the way from 1996 until 1999, and now we're going over some 1999 to 2000 titles. I mostly own later release titles, because that's what I'm more interested in, but you get the idea. So we're going to start off with Centipede. So this is the 3D remake of the Atari arcade game of the same name. Developed by Leaping Lizard Software, ported by Real Sports Games, published by Hasbro Interactive in 1999. I do believe this and the next few titles all came out on the same day, which I believe is October the 22nd, 1999. And these were all on both the PS1 and PC. I don't have the front sleeve for this one, but yeah. Next up is Missile Command, developed by Maya Glass Interactive and Rainbow Studios and published by Hasbro Interactive as well. 3D remake of the arcade game of the same name from Atari. Not the best, but it's what it is. Next up is Pong, or Pong the Next Level as it's known in the United States. This is developed by Supersonic Software, not Supersonic Studios, that company that makes those hyper-casual games. It's a different company altogether. And there we are. Let's open this up. There's the disc. Yeah, Centipede was on the Dreamcast as well, but that was North American only. But all of them were released on the PS1 and PC. Cubert, another arcade game remake developed by Artex Studios, and it's licensed by Sony. I mean Columbia Pictures in this case, because they own the Cubert trademark. It's not fully like under Sony Computer Entertainment, but just under, but Sony's still under Sony regardless. Sony Pictures, essentially. The next Tetris. This is just what you'd expect from a Tetris game. Developed by Blue Planet Software. And this was also on the Dreamcast, which was published by Crave Entertainment, and it was also on, I think, another, I think it was on the Noonon as well. A short-lived DVD player thing that could play video games as well. There we are. Here we have Glover, developed by Interactive Studios Limited. So this is the port of the Nintendo 64 game of the same name, with a slightly altered storyline to match the sequel that never came out or saw the light of day. Don't have the manual for this one. Now that's that selection of games done, and now we're moving on to Worms Pinball. So this is a port of a PC game called Addiction Pinball. It's developed by Team 17 and published by Infogrames. And although it's called Worms Pinball, it still has the racing pinball table as well. I've forgotten the name of, but it doesn't promote it on the packaging. It promotes it as Worms Pinball because of the success of the Worms franchise. And this came out on, as far as I can guess, sometime November 5th, 1999. I don't know for sure if that's true though, but I do believe it is. It did come out on that around that time. Trying to find dates for PS1 games is very difficult. Next up is 40 Winks. So this is a 3D platforming game developed by Eurocom and published by GT Interactive. Released on November the 12th, 1999. Starring a brother and a sister. They can transform and all that. It's one of GT Interactive's last titles before the Infogrames purchase. Very unique platforming game. There was meant to be a Nintendo 64 version as well, but that was cancelled, even though it was fully complete. But it may have been because this game sold poorly. Oh, the front insert came out. Just have to put it back on. There we are. Pac-Man World, which was released on November the 19th, 1999. This was Pac-Man's 20th anniversary game. It was a 3D platformer, or 2.5D 3D platformer. Developed and published by Namco Home Tech. Published by Sony Computer Entertainment in Europe. And then it advertises the DualShock controller. There's Pac-Man on there. There's the manual. Green memory card. And a blue disc and blue everything else. Next up is PGA European Tour Golf. Developed by Infogram Sheffield House or Gremlin Interactive. They still credit it as such on there. And published by Infogrames. So this is the successor to the Acura Golf series, just with the PGA license in it. It was also on the Nintendo 64. It was released also on November the 19th, 1999. The back's multi-language, in Dutch and German as well. There's the manual, pretty heavy, very green golf-like disc. There we are. And also on November the 19th, 1999, came LEGO Racers, a port of the PC game of the same name, developed by High Voltage Software and published by LEGO Media. Except this version is not as good as the PC version. It was also on the Nintendo 64 as well, and even that was better. So you have just a green background manual with Rocket Racer on there. There's Rocket Racer's car, and then there's also a little ad or poster for other LEGO Media products. The back has a poster for LEGO Racers on there. Le Mans 24 Hours. So this is a licensed racing game based on the event of the same name. Developed by Infusitex and published by Infogrames. This was released on November the 26th, 1999. This game, there's actually two different versions of Le Mans 24 Hours. So this is the original Infusitex version. The other one was from Infogram Sheffield House, but I don't have that one. And that was on the Dreamcast and the PS2 and also on the PC. Yeah, I have the PC version, but I don't have the other versions of this game. Well, yeah, the Sheffield House version. Well, this was also on the PC as well. It's not as good as the Sheffield House version as far as I can tell. LEGO Rock Raiders, released on December the 17th, 1999. So this is based on the cult classic LEGO Rock Raiders theme. It's developed by Data Design Interactive and published by LEGO Media. Except this version is actually a completely different game from the PC version. It's a action-adventure game rather than the real-time strategy game that the PC version is like. And it's one of the few later released PS1 games that uses password system instead of relying on the memory card. I don't even know why. It just makes it feel a bit outdated. Army Men 3D, developed and published by the 3DO company, and it was released on January the 23rd, 2000. This was the very first of the Army Men titles released on the PlayStation. And it's a 3D remake of the very first Army Men game. And in all honesty, it did start milking the whole franchise. Got Sarge on there. I think it's Sarge. And there's one of the tan Army Men. But yeah, they really did milk this franchise. And then eventually the 3DO company went under. 4x4 World Trophy, or Test Drive Off-Road 3 in North America. This was developed and published by Infogrames North America in 2000. Published in the UK, in 2000. Namely, April the 14th, 2000 or 15th, I don't know which. But this version of the game is a 2003 re-release. I've not been able to find the original version of this, strangely enough. Here's the back. There we are. And then there's the disc. It's just the generic Infogrames disc. Not much else to say about that. Premier Manager 2000. So this was the last in the original Premier Manager series before Zoo Digital Publishing took over and bought most of the Gremlin assets from Infogrames, including the Premier Manager franchise. So this was developed by Infogrames Sheffield House and published by Infogrames. Released on April the 14th or 15th of 2000. Disc. It's what you'd expect from a football game. I'm not a big fan of this genre. But yeah, it takes up the whole memory card as well. Unless you're really willing to do something like that, I wouldn't recommend you doing something like that. Hogs of War. Here is a cult classic title. Developed by Infogrames Sheffield House and published by Infogrames, and was released on June the 8th, 2000. Smokes and Pork, and it has Rick Mile voicing all the characters in the English version. There's the disc. So it's essentially like a 3D Worms type game. So that makes it pretty cool. Ronaldo v Football. This game is part of the V series, so it's the first one that's not a V Rally title. So Ronaldo v Football, developed by Power and Magic Development, PAM Development, published by Infogrames, and was released on June the 8th, 2000. So it was released about 2 weeks before I was born. Test Drive 6. So by then, so this was after the Infogrames buyout, but somehow then Infogrames North America decided to license this game off to Cryo, one of Infogrames' biggest rivals, and they were French as well. So yeah, Test Drive 6, developed by Pitbull Syndicate, published by Cryo Interactive in the UK, released on June the 30th, 2000. So it came out a week after I was born. There's the Cryo thingy and doodah, and there's the manual as well. Yeah, it was on the PC as well. Yep, just about all these titles I've shown off have been on the PC as well. I think Ronaldo wasn't though, but there we go. ATV Quad Power Racing, developed by Climax and published by Acclaim Entertainment. This was released on August the 30th, 2000. There's an ad for Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000 on the back. RC Revenge, developed by Acclaim Studios Cheltenham and published by Acclaim Entertainment, and was released on September the 15th, 2000. So this is the sequel to Revolt, or a spin-off in some cases, but in all honesty, I actually see it more as a sequel than anything. Although I think Revolt is the better game. Breakout, so this is the 3D remake of the classic Atari arcade game Breakout, developed by Supersonic Software and published by Hasbro Interactive, and was released on September the 23rd, 2000. There's the disc. It's a very blue disc. There's no Atari branding on it, but the manual is full of Atari branding. So here we are. Nice artwork on the front. McHelian Rally Masters Race of Champions, developed by Digital Illusions and published by Infogrames, and was released on October the 13th, 2000. So this is essentially a test drive game, but not really. It was meant to be a test drive game, but was rebranded once it got the McHelian license. So it's just a generic rally racing game. Somewhat like V-Rally, but not really. It was made by a different developer, of course. Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge. So this is the sequel to the Hasbro Interactive Frogger game. Developed by Blitz Games and published by Hasbro Interactive, and was released on October the 20th, 2000. So instead of just one frog, you're now playing with another as well. Frogger and Lily try and save the babies and stop Swampy the crocodile. And last but not least in this video is beach volleyball, or Virtua Beach Volleyball. So this was developed by, let's see, the company that developed it is Carapace, and was published by Infogrames and Canal Plus Multimedia. So yeah, this was part of a deal that Infogrames had with Canal Plus Multimedia. So that's why they co-published it. And it's co-copyrighted to them as well, but it's also part of the V series as well. So yeah. So that's this video done, and then in the last part of my PS1 game collection, I'll be showing off all these titles, and last but not least, Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters. See you later, everyone. Bye for now.